Hello, everyone. I'm JEAN-CLAUDE at Beyond Mystic, and welcome to this evening's Beyond the News. We are breaking news with you, lovely and very talented Janine Marigeau. You can find her work, of course, as always, at tarotbyjanine.com, and also here on the Academy, where everything on the Academy right now is 50% off if you use the coupon code HOLIDAYS 2025. So if you want to take a course or gift a course to a loved one, now is the time. And of course, on beyondmystic.net, also the ho 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 holiday promo, 50% on is currently on. Ho 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 50 is the code, and that'll give you 50% off of the insider access pass. Janine, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Hi, Jean-Claude. Hi, everybody. I'm good.
Crazy week, lots of energies. I didn't speak to you earlier today, but you had a chance to record your Sending Ravens Quick Draw Thursday earlier today. You did simulcast that again today here on YouTube and on our Rumble channel. You want to give a sneak peek to the audience who haven't seen the show yet?
I got real controversial.
Uh-oh.
I was on there. That's what I was texting you about, Jean-Claude. I was like, should I do this? I was scared. I was looking at did in fact Donald Trump convert to Judaism 2 years ago? Like somebody put a real good argument out there. I played the clip for everybody. Okay. And a lot of people, as we know, this whole week, people were asking us about it. They were probably seeing what's out there. And it looked like it was just a desperate plea on the dark hats, I guess I could say, like an attempt to finally just take them down. And it looked like actually they're allowing, it's almost like they're yupping up the idea, the Trump team, so the White Hat Alliance, to kind of get everybody out in the open who's doing that, and then expose them, and also get ready for some big exposure eventually where it really comes clear what they're really doing when it comes to Israel. And and he's not Jewish. He doesn't look like he converted to Judaism from my cards. Said they're going to put this to rest once and for all with this recent sort of even allowing it to go as far as it is.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us here tonight. I see everybody logging in to the Twitter feed, to Rumble, and also here on YouTube. Really cool to see comments now coming back from YouTube while we're doing these shows here tonight. So thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Please do let us know in the live chat where you guys are watching from. I'll try to bring that up on the screen as we go. And, of course, your comments are all welcome. And if we have time, we might take some of your questions here tonight. As well. Stay tuned and pay attention to the keywords, people, places, dates as we get along with the show tonight. We have some beautiful prizes to give you tonight. One of them is a eucalyptus. Let me see if I can bring this up. Retreat Salt Bath Soap. Okay, so you don't want to miss this one. This is from Aline at floralinfarms.ca. I think she's out of the Christmas soaps or the holiday soaps that she had. Crazy busy. She's just off the hook. So she's giving us this one here tonight for the promo. And I also have another promo from Carla at Ascension Organized tonight also. And I'll be bringing that up on the screen very shortly. And for the giveaway from Carla, we're going to be giving away this beautiful pyramid. Hey, there you go. This one. Beautiful red here. Action from the beginner series.
Yikes. Can I say something about that soap bundle?
Sure.
Okay, so right away when I saw it, okay, so I would be the equivalent of a foodie. And I know you and your partner, Sarah, you guys are foodies. You really know where to dine. And like when I've gone for dinner with you, I've learned so much, okay, and had the best food in my whole life. Okay, but as far as baths go, I would be like a bath connoisseur.
Yeah.
And that box looks like a connoisseur's. Like if you have people in your life that absolutely love to bathe and it's a ritual for them, that's the gift.
For sure. Yeah. And don't forget, guys, too, we're very close here to launching the Floraline Farm candles. I have an example here for you guys. This is one of her latest demos. Beautiful packaging. Again, here with the wooden wick and some crystals in there as well. This one is the essential oils, clove and peppermint. and geranium. I love the smell of this. Anyways, we're going to be doing a pre-launch very soon. So stay tuned to the MailChimp campaign and the notification center also on Tarot by Janine for the pre-launch. So the Tarot by Janine community and the members on the Insider Access Pass on Beyond Mystic will have first dibs at these when they come out, and we're very close to that as well. So we'll give those guys the opportunities first. Of course, membership has those privileges, and we have to say thank you to everyone who supports our shows and make it possible for Janine and I to be out here. So that's coming up first, but don't you fret. They will be coming available to the public at large also very soon. But yes, in the meantime, if you're looking for amazing gifts for the holiday seasons, yes, the Eucalyptus Retreat Salt Bath Soak. It's a beautiful bundle. Go ahead and check it out. And of course, lots of specials also on ascensionorganites.com for you guys. Okay, Janine, it's supposed to be a crazy week. Originally, we were supposed to have Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton testify 17 and 18. That's now been pushed back to the month of January. So we'll put that off the table for now. We're supposed to have the Epstein files released tomorrow. This, of course, dates back a whole month to where Trump signed this executive order and giving us a countdown of 30 days, which is supposed to be tomorrow. So we'll look at that in just a moment. At the same time, tomorrow and or Saturday, we're supposed to be at the closest approach of Three Eye Atlas. A lot of people out there suggesting that we might find out some stuff tomorrow with respect to the fact that we are not alone out there and that it's not a comet. So we'll see. We have to look at those energies. Trump yesterday, kind of, I have to say, maybe disappointed a few people. He said that he was going out at night and he was going to say it like it is. And apparently Tucker Carlson was on earlier that day. We reported on it with Judge Napolitano, suggesting that they were going to announce this war with Venezuela. That's not what happened on the announcement last night. And a few people felt that perhaps there was a bit of a bait and switch type of strategy there used on them. So we'll get into that. But at the very least here, we're also seeing all of this weird financial stuff that's happening in the background, to where the pricing mechanism for both gold and silver appear to have been broken. We appear to be in brand new territory, and that could suggest big ramifications here on the financial system just as we enter next week here into the holiday season. So crazy stuff you and I need to look at tonight. So I think what I'd like you to do is start with, maybe if you want to do a 7-card pull and just look at the next 2 weeks here, because the Beyond Mystic team of collaborators and content creators, for the most part, are all taking a little bit of a time off here for the holidays to spend with their friends and loved ones. So we're going to be a little bit more sparse in terms of news coverings. Now, Janine and I will do some shows here and there. And of course, as always, if things go absolutely crazy, we'll pop in and do some impromptu shows. But please note that as of December 22nd here up until January 4, for the most part here, the team will be taking some time, well-deserved time off as well. So I want you to give, for the audience members here, perhaps this 2-week arc of energies here of what we can expect from now until the end of December.
So we've got a 10 here. A 10 is an ending. That's a facade ending. And it's the past leading us to where we're sitting right now. And it is, in a way, we have ended a lot of facades, at least this community. Like just the fact that, I was just thinking about this earlier today, the fact that in a retweeted post, Trump actually let the words, would you be okay with a military tribunal? Or I forget how the words went, but basically retweeted something that was asking if how you feel about military tribunals. Like there's so much that's ended like we're pretty sure now, if we've been watching and paying attention, even if you're the biggest skeptic in this group, you're probably pretty sure that Q's real and White Hat Alliance exist on some level. And there's something's back there doing something. Something's going on, and it's not exactly what it appears. Let's say that. And then, of course, all the psyops we've gotten so fast at noticing what's going on with psyops. They don't even last out the day anymore. And they've been completely taken apart, shot for shot. And the truthers get on there and show you, hey, this couldn't have happened this way. And so at least we know they're not reporting things properly. The least we know. Okay, so that feels like that's where we got here to this place where nothing, like the facade of what our life was like, is definitely ended. We're not in that la la land anymore, for sure. We're long past that. We know nothing's what we thought it was. Now we've got this 8 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords is we know all of these things aren't what we thought they were. We have ideas about what could be going on. We don't know for sure. We've been trying to, decode it for years. This card tells me it's kind of a big look, I think, just where we're sitting, where there's all of these things, but they're not officially known. And therein lies a lot of our frustration in this community, right? We officially want to know there has been military tribunals. If there has been, we want to know that. We want to know if those Epstein files exist, and because people are trying to tell us they don't now, and then B, what the heck, who like, is somebody going to get arrested for this? Like, meanwhile, there's people walking around, and maybe even potentially our politicians who are really implicated in that information of, if it's true, which we believe it is, so there's all of these things, and we're kind of just waiting for this stuff to become publicly known. We've had like these carrot dangles, like what happened last night, with disclosure, and we haven't got the disclosure we wanted, right? We're just not getting it yet. Okay, so we're kind of sitting right there. Now we've got this 8 of Pentacles here, or sorry, 6 of Pentacles. That's a goes around, comes around in the near future, but it also can talk about a bit of a nothing burger as far as the Epstein. I feel like this is the Epstein files. I feel like somehow that gets kicked down a bit too. And I was getting that even a few months ago when they first said, or I guess it's been a month ago now, tomorrow, when they first said it was coming out in 30 days. We looked at it, Jean-Claude, and I'm pretty sure I got February for a lot of this stuff we're waiting for.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't think it'll all happen before Christmas. Things are happening, but
just to take a quick pause on that too, if the indication that Dan Bongino is going back to his private life here, a podcaster, means anything, it could be relating to exactly that, because again, he was a big proponent of justice on this particular front. He seemed to be at odds with the president and the presidency over the last couple of months. And if this file is coming out tomorrow and is somewhat of not necessarily a nothing burger, but not exactly what everybody expects, we could understand why perhaps then Bongino wants to maybe extricate himself from that and maybe go back in a different direction. So you had looked at that last night on the pay-per-view show, and they appear to be related to at least some degree. So again, suggesting we might be disappointed, or at least our community might be disappointed tomorrow with some of that news, or the lack thereof is more to the point. Janine, keep going.
This card's kind of a charity card, so they're going to give us something, but we don't get the full share, right? So they're passing out charities. It'll feel like we're getting something, but not the big dish we're looking for.
Right.
Okay, now here we've got the moon. So the hidden influence is the moon. So still deep secrets, deep hidden things. Lots of people not alive anymore that are pretending to be alive. I think there's lots of people we think are gone, but they're not. Like we could talk about that for hours. Like this is an interesting card. So the thing about who's really gone and who isn't is really interesting. I feel like that could be a big reveal that happens, because this is the theater card. I feel like it's big theater, who's gone and who isn't. Like they're showing these supposed deaths, but are they dying the way they're saying they're dying? Like, for instance, Rob Reiner, like what's really going on there, and who's really gone and who's really not. I feel like that something, a reveal around that could be that's going to be really exciting, because this card here says, yeah, there's something coming out around someone's here that we thought was gone, and there's probably people we thought were gone are actually still around. So there's, I don't know which direction it'll go, maybe both, but some of those reveals coming. So that's exciting. Also, the a magician and the moon card right next to each other. This is the hidden influence. So maybe some reveals around what really is the moon. We've been talking about that for years now. And we haven't directly to the public got what really the moon is. We haven't got that out. We haven't even got exactly what it is. We just jab around at, oh, it could be this, maybe it's that. You know what I mean? But we don't know exactly what it is. So I feel like some reveals coming around what's out there, what we call the moon, what really is it, but also this some of this theater about who died and who didn't. I feel like could be revealed. Some famous people being still here and some gone that we thought, the other way around. So here we've got the Page of Swords and an ace. So like there's a child card and an infant card. So reveals around children and infants, and that has been just on the edge of things. Even that thing with Rob Reiner that came out about that comedian talking about what his dad did, just in graphic details. Like listening to it hurts my heart.
Oh yeah, it gets under your skin. It's crazy.
And everyone's laughing. It's like, how are you laughing at that?
Kind of a joke.
Okay. And then a whole bunch more videos came out about comedians laughing about stuff like that. They've raked a lot of people over the goal. So they're all in it. So there's this big club and they're in it. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe some reveals around that. So we've just got a whole lot of reveals here. And in a way, it's a lot of success here, but it's the problem is I'm not seeing the real carrot we're looking for, like the real juice on the Epstein Island and what really went on there. And I'm not seeing that. And that's where we're going to be a little leery. There's wins, but we're going to still be a little leery because the really big reveals are not coming. Yeah.
Okay. Don't move the card. I know you said this on the show yesterday, and a lot of people took offense to that. I'm like, well, I'm just reading from the cards. It looks a little bit disappointing here in terms of the justice we're looking for and all that. Nevertheless, what you're seemingly saying either way, even if it's not maybe as big as we would want on some of these fronts or many of these fronts, it appears you're still suggesting that it's an end of a facade. So there's still enough of it to end some type of facade here. Okay. Yeah. So I'll take that as a win. I mean, for most of our communities, I think we could take that as a win. But don't move here, because in the middle with the moon card, you went to, perhaps we have declaration of what the moon truly is, and we have a better understanding, all that too. There's a magician card in there. Now, let me tie this into Three-Eye Atlas, because I said at the beginning of the show, there's a lot of things that are supposed to happen in the next 24, 48 hours here. Everything seemed to have been converging at the same time. One of them was this closest approach to Three-Eye Atlas. So I might have you reshuffle, but just leave them there for now. I want to show you this article. So Cliff retweeted this earlier today. He says, it looks like someone is building a Stargate-style transport portal. Now, if you had been following Cliff High since July or maybe August, I think by the time August came around on his Substack, he has suggested that this Three-Eye Atlas could be bringing some type of self-replicating technology further away from where it comes from in order to create just that, a portal, so that wherever it comes from now doesn't have to do that long-term trajectory, that they could just jump over there to over here. And this is just an automated thing that's building a network or a highway of sorts. That was one of the hypotheses that Cliff had brought in. And just now in the last couple of days, these pictures are coming out suggesting there's this weird black hole or dark region in Three-Eye Atlas right now. And so again, we have to come back and say, what the hell is this thing? It's just doing everything opposite our normal understanding of comets would do. Not necessarily proof that they're aliens, but every day there's all these things that are anomalous, and at least making us think that maybe this is something we haven't encountered before. We have to at least be intellectually honest enough to admit that. But this whole thing about the moon, the revelation, the magician card, could that be related to whatever Three-Eye Atlas is doing too? Maybe that's connecting to the moon too. Do you want to do clarifiers or a whole other poll? What do you see? What do you think?
I'm going to clarify it there with those two.
Okay.
So we've got the Four of Cups here. Okay, so while we're looking at Three-Eye Atlas, Wow, that almost feels like some of what Three Eye Atlas is going to do is going to keep our attention over here while something else totally different happens over here.
And is
So
there something else, a war?
we need,
Military action?
that is kind of a warring card. We
Yeah.
need to be careful that we're not bedazzled by like pictures like that. I was like, whoa, because it
Yeah.
looks like a jewel, first of all.
Yeah.
And so what really is happening with it and what we're being presented, I feel like we probably still need to be very discerning. And also, I always get a lot of these emotional cards around it. I feel like there's a real emotional shift coming for humanity with this thing getting closer to Earth and just being in our, I guess, atmosphere, if that's where it is. Like, so I'm not sure,
Right.
how, but if it's around us energetically and we're talking about it and it's in our world already in a way, because a lot of people are talking about it. There's lots of images out there. With all of that kind of focus, I feel like there's something, it's affecting us already, but it's more of an emotional effect.
Huh. More of an emotional effect. Okay. I want you to do a 3-card pull because I want a little bit more clarity on this, at least the portal thing. So what you're saying now is that it could be a distraction, but you're not necessarily getting that there's no portal being created either here. So I want just a little bit more clarity there. And I want to bring that into the context with the 2 shows that you and I were talking about, I believe on the Monday night or the Wednesday night pay-per-view, which is this brand new show or movie coming out next June, Disclosure Day. And what's already out on Apple TV, this series called Pluribus, both of them having to do with ET contact and humanity having to change or be upended completely here to address this new reality. So it shifts all of humanity into a different space. And many people, researchers were suggesting that maybe Three Eye Atlas would be, in fact, that catalyst for humanity. Now, whether or not we know that tomorrow because of its closest approach, or we have to wait till January or February because maybe mainstream and officialdom does not want yet to admit it to us. My question is here, is Three Eye Atlas a portal? And is it opening up something here that could lead humanity into a completely new reality? Let's just frame it that way for now. You can do a 3-card or you can do a Kachina knife, whatever you think is best.
Okay. Well, it's something like that. See, that 2 of Pentacles is we're getting there. We're not all the way there yet. I used to get this card when I asked if the earth was round or flat. It's something different than they're saying, but maybe not exactly what you just described. And we've got the Strength card there. So that it's something powerful and certainly not to be poo-pooed away, or like some people totally dismiss it. Definitely not. And it's certainly not a comet. So it's something, and it has a powerful effect here. It's very unique to anything we've ever experienced. So it's not anything that's happened in our, lifetimes, but maybe the lifetime of the planet.
Yeah.
Now we've got the Hanged Man in the middle. So there's an enlightenment. Okay, this is interesting. So this is the regular folks kind of placement card. What do they know about it? Well, they don't know too much about it, right? They're hearing little snippets, and my son's heard about it, and he doesn't watch videos like this, but he's heard about it on TikTok, and lots of social medias are talking about it. So he's heard a little bit about it, but I bet you like my sisters that are more my age, they probably know nothing about it. Do you know what I mean? So they're largely in the dark. Okay, but it feels like how it'll affect those people is there's a quickening, okay, in so just it being here, so it's got this unique ability to somehow open them up to more truths. So it seems to bring a shift. Yeah, a quickening. That's my quickening card. There's a quickening to their ability to understand things, maybe that they otherwise, we find it hard to explain to these people.
Right.
I feel like it actually opens them up and lets them see beyond their limitations. So it's bringing, and so portal, in a way, maybe energetically, it's creating a portal to help those people bridge their inability to see,
Right.
and opens that up. So somehow it seems to open people up and help them. So especially the ones resisting.
So it's kind of a yes, but not necessarily in the context of opening up a portal or a stargate to another dimension to have reinforcement or galactic traffic, or maybe it's both.
I just asked for further sort of description of what it's doing.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. So this is a healing card. It's very healing, and there's a high spiritual element to it. And there's a blending to it, but it's the opposite of the tower. You know how the tower is like a revelation and it hits you like a ton of bricks. It's really uncomfortable. And this is more of a soft, where you're being healed into knowing something.
Okay.
Okay. And it might even be working with the sun's rays to do its work.
Wow. Okay. Because the sun is often referred to as a portal itself. That's interesting. Or it might be tying into that energy. Okay. Okay.
Utilizing it
Yeah.
with it, because this card blends.
Wow.
The nickname for this card is abracadabra. So it's like
Yeah.
a blending.
Yeah. Yeah. Fascinating. Okay. I don't want to dive too deep on that. Dive too deep on that. We've of course been talking about it since July, and we'll continue looking at it as more information comes up. But that's interesting, to say the least. So thank you, Janine, for that. Let me go back to the live chat here and say thank you. 2 super chats in the queue right now. The first one is from Sid6823. Hi, Janine and JC. Old from the beginning, they mean IAP member. I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing. Love from Denmark. Well, thank you. Gratitudes to Denmark. Thank you so much. And the next one here is from Gemma Castilla. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Thank you, JC and Janine. You have both been a heaven sent, especially in the last 4 or 5 years. Merry Christmas to you both. And good rest to the Beyond Mystic crew and team. Your families, Gemma. Thank you so much, Gemma. I really appreciate that. It's really cool. I apologize. It's hard to read the small print on that little screen for me. But anyways, thank you for all those beautiful comments and the donation, of course. Very much appreciated. Now, let's get back stateside. We looked at the ETs there, but Trump just declassified marijuana. So basically, he's moving it from the Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, placing it in the same category as Tylenol and codeine. This is going to have big ramifications for the judicial system, the incarceration system, a lot of people in jail for possessing here or distributing this. So big changes are coming because of that. Now, here in Canada, Justin Trudeau made his legacy part on that here too, legalizing marijuana in Canada. So far, as a Canadian, as a father, I can't really say that it's been a great success, in the sense that I feel that everywhere I look, the teens everywhere are, smoking this stuff, maybe not paying attention to school. It might be creating more issues with them with PTSD, or not PTSD, but ADHD. So I'm not sure it's a good thing. In one hand, it does bring a lot of health benefits on its own as a natural plant when used correctly as a plant medicine. That is not what happened here in Canada. Most of the production of this went through government authorized dealers, to where they manipulated the formula to an extent that perhaps those benefits of which I spoke might not be as present as we would like. So personally, not a big fan in Canada. Don't think this is a big success for Canada, generally speaking. And I would rather say it was detrimental to Canada. My personal opinion. Janine, you can share yours or not. But here now Trump is playing a very similar move in the United States. Is this a big distraction? Get everybody drunk and high while something else is happening? Why does he need to do this? And again, just looking at what happened in Canada, I could see how, at least being fair to people and not putting them in jail for smoking a joint, I get that part. But the damage that has also caused to most of the population who didn't smoke pot in Canada before it was legalized and now are all hooked on it and maybe not as contributing to society as they would have been without this drug being legalized, I don't know that it was worth it. I don't want to open that debate here tonight, but you guys can say what you want. I have my opinion. You guys have yours. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion. But why now, Janine? Let's do a first poll to see why the strategy is being put up now. It's not, as far as I know, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but throughout the whole campaign last year and this year in office, it was more about income tax. It was more about trade deficit. It was about building the economy, jobs, security, North security, and of course, all of these tariffs to make America rich again. That's what he campaigned on. I don't remember him legalizing or wanting to legalize marijuana as being a plank of his campaign. Maybe it was, and I just didn't read the fine print. Do you remember that, Janine, at all?
No, but like somebody said in the comment, they didn't make it legal in the US, or he's not saying he's going to make it legal. They're just going to take it down.
Declassifying it from class 1 to class 3. There are still some restrictions in class 3. I totally get that. Yeah. But it's making it a step closer. Maybe not as far as Canada went. I get that. Maybe he just wants to address the part to where there's a lot of people in jail for this, for even smoking it or holding it. That just is putting too much strain on the system. It's just not fair anymore. Maybe that's all he wants to do. I don't know. Well, do we want to play the clip? Because there's a clip attached to him too. Maybe we'll get a sense of why, if we can parse his words. Okay, let me go back to the other slide deck for the audio. Share. Yes. Maybe we'll get a clue there, but we'll still come back to the cards here because I'm interested specifically of the why now. Okay, so let's play this.
At the same time, the facts compel the federal government to recognize that marijuana can be legitimate in terms of medical applications when carefully administered. In some cases, this may include the use as a substitute for addictive and potentially lethal opioid painkillers. They cause tremendous problems. This can do it in a much lesser way, can make people feel much better and are living through tremendous pain and problems. 40 states and multiple U.S. territories have already recognized the use of medical marijuana. This reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us to study benefits, potential dangers, and future treatments. It's going to have a tremendously positive impact, I believe. We're also asking Congress to reconsider its classification of hemp-derived CBD to ensure seniors can access CBD products they have found beneficial for pain and other reasons. Some people are literally dying, and they're dying with tremendous pain, and this can, in many cases, literally stop it. And they have their senses about them, as opposed to painkillers, which don't allow that, don't allow them to die with dignity, frankly. I promise to be the president of common sense, and that is exactly what we're doing. This is really something having to do with common sense. And it's something having to do with the fact that so many people that I respect ask me to do, people that are having problems, big problems. They are having big problems with illness, with cancer in particular. I now want to ask Dr. Oz to say a few words, followed by Dr. Braun, Dr. Casseret.
Okay. So his angle, at least there in that speech, is about the health benefits. And again, I preempted this by saying, yeah, if it's used correctly, if the molecules are not changed, if the formula and the creation of it is not changed, there's benefit there to that plant medicine. But that's a slippery slope, because that's kind of how they started the debate here in Canada towards legalization for that same thing. At first, it was the medically available, and then that was the stepping stone to legalizing it too. So let's keep with our first question. Why now? Distraction. Is it this really the intention and it stops there? Or is there something else completely, from left field that we're not seeing here as to why he's putting this forward? at this time?
They might have, there might be something that could, like something in the past's been discovered about it that could radically change maybe people's lives, and it's been hidden. So I don't think it's something that's in use in Canada. Like maybe they're not using it properly here. They turned it into, so it looked good on Trudeau, but they turned it into a big money machine for the government. The government took over all the production and put it, like, so of course they added all these additives and turned it into their, like a big money maker. And there's a pot store on every corner in cities, like worse than liquor stores. Yeah. But anyway, so it looks like, see this card in the past. So there's some kind of big revelation that's been already happened in the past about it. Okay. And it feels like it's definitely he's doing this as a gift to people. It's a gift to people. And I do think they'll use it responsibly, or that's the intention.
Okay.
So it looks like he's building up outing. Maybe there's a procedure or way to use it or utilize it. And it does look like it's to do with physical health, medical. I know that my brother, when he was in really late stages of his turbo cancer, he microdosed. I can't remember exactly. It was a pot-related product, and a mushroom product as well. And that was what kept, he didn't take any of the meds they were trying to give him, and he was in a lot of pain when he wasn't doing that. And this did seem to really help him. But anyway, yeah, this looks like he's doing it for a good reason, and it's because they know something, and they're going to use it in a way that could be a big shocking revelation to the good.
So it seems to me, at least by the cards that you're pulling, that Mr. Trump is not going in the same direction that Trudeau and Canada went with this. He's really looking at something beneficial from the health aspect of it.
Yeah, those two are what he's doing with it.
Yeah,
it's definitely, he knows something more than maybe he's saying
right
about it. And this card can be like, there's a congruent emotional energy to this card when it's well aspected.
Right.
And so he knows something about, so I feel like it does relate to pain relief and keeping people in a good place. It could even have something to do with mental health to the positive. And I know sometimes the way they use pot and the way it's been manipulated, it's bad for your mental health. It can actually get you really anxious when
the kids in Canada are very anxious. That's what all the school principals and teachers are saying. They're all on pot. They're anxious. They have ADHD in more volume than they did before. So that's why I was like, okay, we have to be serious about this.
So but it's going the other direction. It's going the other direction. Yeah.
What's interesting, because you brought up your brother and the cancer, in the context of MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, a lot of researchers are expecting some type of turn of event to where confidence in the medical system is deteriorated somehow. We're already seeing it because of the big reversals on COVID, the fact that they told us it was safe and effective. And now, of course, the FDA is putting warnings on packets about, heart conditions, all that stuff. But is it possible here that Trump is setting up something with this that is going to be announced later on in the medical field, to where all the chemotherapy is going to be outed for what it is and how ineffective it is, and that there's something related to marijuana here that could be used? I don't want to say the word cure, but maybe as a treatment of sorts, and that's what he's setting up here somehow.
I'd say yes.
Wow.
Soft yes. And we got the Trump card. So bringing something out in the open, but it's already in the past was discovered, and it's just not been put out in the open yet.
Okay. Good news, I guess. We'll keep our eyes on that one. Thank you, Janine. If you want to shuffle, we'll get to the next segment. I'm going to play this clip here, too. This is breaking news here about the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing here hundreds of bombshell Russiagate documents again, pointing to Barack Obama personally here, having ordered the CIA to manufacture false intel on President Trump. Now, ostensibly, we've been hearing this all year, Janine, and you and I were a little bit frustrated. I think it was as early as maybe February or March of this year. We're like, why are you leading with all these things? Why don't you just start with the indictment? Like, we've been hearing this, oh, we've got new evidence, oh, we got this, we got that. But okay, how about we get to the next step? And typically, these agencies and jurisdictional procedures don't let it out of the bag that they're working on this and they have evidence. They accumulate, and when they're ready, they think their case is strong, bang, they go and arrest somebody and they get to the next step. Here, we're just getting this long, lingering drip drop of Obama's responsible for something. Of course, President Trump is trolling Barack Obama this week by changing the little plaque underneath his portrait in the White House. Let's play the clip, and then I'll try to formulate a question for you to see if this is part of the frustration that you were picking up in the cards that would be associated here for the month of December.
News alert: the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, releasing a bombshell report today that shows a conspiracy by a sitting president, Barack Obama, and his intel agencies to sabotage the president-elect, Donald Trump, brainwash the electorate, and undermine the legitimacy of an election.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
Gabbard got her hands on a House intel report that's been locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade. Investigators spent over 2,000 hours looking into how the Russia hoax was born, interviewing 20 CIA and FBI officials. And it turns out that the Obama administration doctored the intelligence to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election.
So my point with all this is they appear to be trying him in public as opposed to trying Barack Obama in the justice system. What the hell's going on, Gene? Big distraction? What's this whole strategy being played out here? Why are we be treating to this, again, this long-winded? Nothing is really kind of getting to the justice part, I think, is how most of the viewers would say it. Yeah, people are saying, yeah, we're over this movie, JC. Yeah, I know. I'm with you on that one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Fool and the Devil. So two major arcanas. So whatever it is, this feels distracting to me. This card's like a distraction. I feel like they're going to talk about Obama, and then strike and arrest somebody else.
You got that last week for something, another poll. So they're like doing us bait and switch. They're keeping us on our toes, just like Trump was doing yesterday. Oh, we're going to talk about the war in Venezuela. And then, no, he's just talking about his first term. Yeah. Okay. So switcheroo.
Yeah. And it's part of the war.
Yeah. Somebody says, Savage on paper. I've never had movie fatigue before now. Yeah. So we all got movie fatigue.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're not getting ready to get clarity on this. This is just another distraction of many here to keep us kind of like confused as to what the next steps are. So really, it's not about confusing us. It's about confusing the deep state.
Yeah.
Like that's Trump's at it again. Like, again, I don't fault him for that. But for the people who are awake, I'd say, okay, stop listening and tell your friends who are not awake, who are just like grinding on all these little pieces now and like, having hissy fits. Just tell them, like, guys, like, step back, way back, and look at the big picture. Like, all right, so let's talk about looking at the big picture. Ray Dalio, looking at the big picture here, and you and I, of course, we don't give financial advice. We've talked about finance for a number of years, just trying to decode it. Just try to see if we can get information that was non-local, that was not necessarily perpetrated by the mainstream financial media, just so that, we'd have a better shot at navigating all this personally and collectively. And part of the thing we've been saying for the longest time is that when we were seeing the mainstream media talking about these boom bust echo cycles, you and I were like, no, that's not what this is. And these guys are either not intelligent enough to see it, or they're lying to you straight to your face. This is a complete changeover. Whatever you want to talk about the fourth turning, or in the sense that of Ray Dalio saying this today, he's saying it's not a recession, which is going to hit the US and the world, but a total breakdown of monetary systems. We're moving into brand new territory, multipolar world of currencies, and this has been in play now for decades. And for those who had the eyes to see, they had a chance to prepare and disintermediate themselves from the old systems and hopefully start, landing their feet on the other side before this whole thing transpires. I believe we're in the transpire right now. We've been in that period of time for a moment, but now this part, at least, of the narrative or the explanation that you and I have been trying to convey with the cards over the last couple of years is coming out in the mainstream. So let's just see how they're framing it now, and then we'll do a pulse check on where we are in that transition phase. Okay, Janine, so if you want to reshuffle, I'll play the clip and come right back to you.
I think that right now we are at a decision-making point and very close to a recession. And I'm worried about something worse than a recession if this isn't handled well. A recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP, and whether it goes slightly there, we always have those things. We have something that's much more profound. We have a breaking down of the monetary order. We are going to change the monetary order because we cannot spend the amounts of money, so we have that problem. And when we talk about the dollar and we talk about tariffs, we have that. We are having a profound changes in our domestic order, how ruling is existing, and we're having profound changes in the world order. Such times are very much like the 1930s. I've studied history, and this repeats over and over again. So if you take tariffs, if you take debt, if you take the rising power challenging the existing power, if you take those factors and look at the factors, those changes in the orders, the systems, are very, very disruptive. How that's handled could produce something that is much worse than a recession.
Okay. He's getting very close to saying the words that we've been saying for years now. And with respect to Mr. Dalio, he's been on this beat for a while. And mainstream news doesn't always want to repeat what he's saying, but I think he's been at this for a while. Now he's being let say that here on Meet the Press, presumably to educate the public. And like Andy Schectman said in the show last time he was on, I think it was on the Beyond the Vault series, he said, when they say what's really happening, it's already too late. The big guys have already made their positions, and the rest of us are just going to suffer the consequences of not having known this or not having prepared. And if you look at what's happening in the bullion market this year, clearly a lot of people were front running the trade of what this guy just explained, right? So let me go back to my first question, Janine. Where are we on that process of this profound fundamental breakage here of the monetary system and the introduction of this new multipolar world? Are we here for December for that? Do we still have to wait now, maybe to January or February? If you look at silver right now, gold, we're in brand new territories. It appears that the price mechanisms have been broken. And it also appears that with the news that JP Morgan went long 750 million ounces of silver here 2 weeks ago, leaving all the shorts behind with the other banks, it seems like it's all every man for himself, and that we're now, in a way, having the banks support the longs in silver and gold right now. So brand new world. We've never been here before. Let's take a pulse as to how this looks like, what the transition looks like. what the audience needs to know, and if there's any actionable intelligence here to navigate all this. Jean.
It's definitely already broken. Just like that guy, like you said, if the guy's talking about it breaking, it already broke. And
Yeah.
Andy Scheckman saying, and we've been saying, right? So it's already broken. So 10. So that's a surrender. Just look at that card. So that already happened. Okay, now the ace is we're about to hear about the new. And I think that'll happen between now and February or the end of February. We're about to hear about the new system, which has already been created and probably working alongside the old one for a long time. We've got the emperor, so it does feel like the Trump's going to lead the way with the new. So somehow he's largely involved. I always got that the Trump team and the White Hat Alliance, this was their baby. This was something they really want to leave the world with. Yeah. So hidden influence is going to have a lot to do with either tribunals knowing about them or justice being served. We might even see big banks and bankers getting called to justice. We might even see big disruptions with banking systems being found to be, all of their illegal activities being spread out in the open, something like that. I feel like that'll be a big part of it, is where the banking system itself gets really shown to the public as what a scam it is.
Gold hit 4,400 in the futures, brand new all-time highs. Silver hitting all-time highs. It almost hit $67 yesterday. This is up 130% in the year. Crazy numbers right now. Like we're in new territories, and what we're seeing is dramatically resembles what Clefai was predicting almost now 15 years ago would happen with silver and this multipolar world. We seem to be there, Janine. Keep going with that bottom row, and the card cards. Yeah.
So we've got the 8 of Cups here and the Moon. So this is something to take note of. Okay, this is a walking away. So walk away from. So it's really important to walk away from the old system because it's already dead. So if you're still playing with dollars, okay, I feel like you're gonna hurt. If all your savings are in dollars in a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying every bank will go down or anything like that, but I feel like you're somehow in harm's way, and that's not financial advice from me. I'm just telling you what the cards are saying. So it's saying walk away from something that's already died, let it go. Let go of that old system. Look at new ways. Think about trades. Think about like I was just talking to a guy that built my deck, actually. And funny thing, we got on the topic of silver and gold, and it turns out him and his partner who build together, they have a building company. They actually have a gold mine somewhere in northern Alberta. I didn't ask them where exactly, and I doubt if they'd have told me. And they said everybody's trying to get it. They haven't really worked it for quite a while, but they're really excited about the future of metals. They're big silver stackers. Like I said, so if I wanted work in the future, would you trade? Because I got silver too. And they're like, oh, we'd absolutely trade. Yeah. So I feel like we are going into all new territory, and people in the know, they're going to work differently. Things are going to happen differently. This card says we're at the end of the illusion that somehow that paper is worth anything. You know what I mean? We're at the end of 2 10s on either side here. So the things there's no rebooting it. It's already gone. It's really about getting involved in a new way to create things. I mean, just my jewelry collection alone, I should be okay, actually.
I think so, Janine. Speaking of illusions, Joe 10B, QFS is running beside the old system, and the FO is saying that we'll see the new system reveal in January. Next weekend, the weekend after, and the next month, and I've been hearing this for a decade. I would say that there's very little evidence that there's a QFS system running in the background, but yet there's fingerprints of everything else happening in the background. The countries are de-dollarizing. They're setting up their own gold, physical silver and gold exchanges. JP Morgan's gold desk is moving in the East in January. We're seeing a lot of legislations around the world to reclassify gold and silver as legal tender. We're seeing Trump say now that you can pay your taxes with Bitcoin without having to pay capital gains taxes on your Bitcoin increase and net gains. Crazy stuff that we're seeing. That we could say that's happening. This whole QFS thing is, and the weight 800 numbers that are coming up every weekend, we don't see that. All I see is people repeating that every week, but I don't see anything tangible of that. And that suggests also that there's going to be this ubiquitous distribution to where everybody's a millionaire and everybody's debts are absolved and the debt jubilee and all that. Again, don't see any evidence of that. What I'm seeing is a whole bunch of countries creating their own currencies, their own new payment systems outside of the US dollar complex. And we're seeing the United States having to compete now in that world. And the tariffs are a big part of that strategy for Mr. Trump, as well as the Bitcoin strategic reserve, as well as him wanting to bring refineries back into the United States. That we can see, we can point to, we can see all these news items coming up, and we can make at least informed decisions on actual things, as opposed to a bunch of people saying that something new is coming out that's going to save your life next weekend and you don't have to do anything. The White Hats have it all. I don't like to get into that. It's very frustrating, to me anyways. But having said that, Janine, anything you want to add on that with respect to the cards here and maybe how to navigate all of this?
Well, we got these two on the bottom here. So this is a unique card that says defend your uniqueness. It's there's a lot of sovereign energy to this. When you got wands like that, if this was like, there's another deck that I love to use sometimes. And the 7 of Wands has the symbol of Sagittarian on it. And I think it's Mars in Sag. And so there's a real Sagittarian's a fire sign, but they never conform to systems. In fact, to be a good Sagittarian, you need to learn. You're learning how to create your own way of being in the world, totally beat to your own drum. And that's what that card's all about. It's almost like a Robin Hood card. Okay, so this card's like, I feel like there's going to be an adjustment over time where it's not just going to be 1% with all the wealth. And this whole new thing coming in is going to help create that. Yeah. It's going to be distributed more correctly. Like, it was never meant to be we were hijacked and that's what happened. So we're going to distribute wealth differently. Like, we're all going to have it more available by being able to manifest easier, like using our intuition, getting out of system jobs, like just using our common sense and imagination again.
So, yeah, just to be clear, you've repeated this so many times on the show. There's going to be some type of leveling of the playing field, or at least at the rules level. But you are the sovereign being that has to learn to create for yourself, to be sovereign, to be independent, and to be wealthy. Janine is not saying that you should wait for somebody else to make a decision to make you whole, perhaps sometime later down the line. She's saying you have to work to create that. There is things happening in the background that could at least level up the playing field so that you're able to do that for yourself, but you yourself have to make that happen. You cannot wait for somebody else to make that happen for you. Am I correct? Again, we get a lot of flack on this stuff, Janine, because people hear the first part. Oh, no, see, she said it's going to be distributed, JC. Like, I don't have to do anything. It's going to be fine later on. No, that's not what Janine said. Janine, anything else?
Yeah. So, and this card here, getting out there and not being afraid to go in unique and new directions. Like, not being afraid to look outside the box in the way you like talking a trade. Don't be afraid to talk to somebody. You want to buy their property, talk trade with them. You want to buy, you know what I mean? Like, we're going to have to talk differently and be braver. And like exactly what you said, creating your own like brave new world.
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you see that I don't even think it's at the rules level, although it might translates to rules level. I think the up leveling is happening from an energetic perspective. There's a global consciousness that's raising. We're getting more energies from space. The planet itself is voting on how its resources are going to be used. And so the old game, from that perspective, the energy doesn't support that anymore. So just that, it means that the energy doesn't support that. It supports the sovereignty of the individual beings on the planet, but it's up to those sovereign beings to make their abundance come true now, because there's not the impediment of the old system that was working very hard to prevent that. That's very different than saying that, oh, there's this magical thing here that all the elites around the world don't want you to know about, but they're about to distribute everything to everybody equally. That hasn't happened on this planet for the history of this planet. So again, maybe not hold your breath for it. You can if you want to. Again, not financial advice, but maybe you want to have a contingency plan. I think is what we're saying. The sovereign part of it is the big thing there. You really need to get your mind on creating your own abundance and bringing your frequency in line with that energy of the planet that is no longer conducive to these old guys and these old bankers, these parasitic forms taking from everyone on the planet. That is ending. I agree with that. Phil Christopher again, holy crap, man! Thank you. Another $100 donation. Really appreciated that. Question there, dear Jason, Janine, what did the card say about Nancy Pelosi going to jail for insider trading? That's a nice one. Let's do an update on that. I don't think you and I've read on that before, Janine. Good question.
Nope.
Thank you, Phil Christopher, and again, thank you for that amazing and very generous donation. Thank you. Yeah, the no income tax is a good start, but not here yet. It's been promised quite a bit. No tax on tip was a promise, but then we realized that it was no tax on tip to a certain amount, remember? And then it was no tax on overtime, and then it was, well, no tax on overtime to a certain amount, and then there's tax, right? So we're not there yet to the no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no income tax. Not there yet. They are talking about it, going in the great direction, but again, don't hold your breath on these things. Create your own abundance. Find new ways, as Jenny was saying, to create that for yourself.
I think she's already gone. So they're saying, yeah, will she get?
Well, okay, let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
In the public view, are they going to use this as an opportunity? I know this person's dealt with, and we've looked at this many times before, but at least for the normies out there to see some type of justice, at the very least from the insider trader aspect of what she was perhaps involved with.
Yeah.
So it's a yes.
Yeah, that looks good. Like when you said it that way, I pulled two more.
Okay.
From the deck, because all of this is basically saying, okay, she's not even here anymore. And yeah.
Okay. If you're just joining us now, you're probably saying, what are you guys talking about? Well, you got to watch more shows. And
she's long gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she might have been rounded up on January 6th, that situation, that shenanigans.
Yeah. All right.
This is justice, and that's a really good affirmative card. So
yeah. Joe 10B, JC, I think you'll be shocked when the new QFS is revealed. Yeah, I'll be shocked and pleasantly surprised. But in the meantime, I will have worked to create that for myself, and it'll be a bonus. And so that's my point. So if it does, of course, we'll be shocked. We'll be pleasantly surprised. I'm just saying, don't hold your breath. And perhaps get another plan. All I'm saying, could be possible. What do I know? I don't know anything. So maybe it's out there. I'm just saying, I've been hearing this for a long time. Anyways, Jenny, let's move on. We have some gifts to give away. First one here, of course, is the Eucalyptus Retreat Salt Bath Soak. Question for the audience members tonight, Jenny, to give this one away. What do you think?
what kind of mine did my carpenters say they had?
Oh, okay. That's a good one. So let me go back to the live chat. There you go. Guys, while we wait for that to populate, please join us in supporting the lovely and amazing Janine. You can get all the news here on a weekly basis at tarotbyjanine.com for about the price of a cup of coffee, $4.99. You get monthly access there to all of those news items, as well as timely interviews, and also the Zodiac spread, which is a big feature here to help you navigate your world in a way. And of course, this is a big way to support Janine so that you can do more shows out here on different platforms for you guys. So please do go and support us there at tarotbyjanine.com, or make it a gift to one of your awakened friends and family, and perhaps those that are awakening now too, to get a little bit of heads up. They might want a subscription to Tarot by Janine. So please do go and check that out. Janine, let me go to the live chat here. Let me know when to stop the feed, and we'll pick a winner.
Stop.
There you go. Rosie Thorne. Man, feels like this person has won before. Congratulations, Rosie Thorne 8847. Go to beyondmystic.net, top of the page, fill out the tech support form there, and let us know you're the winner. We'll have Elian send you out this package for you guys. While you're there also, as we're talking about the economy, if you're looking at getting some silver while you still can, you might want to check out the silver form and the discounts offered to the Beyond Mystic audience by Miles Franklin. You'll see the button there. It'll go to beyondmystic.net/silver. And yeah, check it out. Crazy times. Metals are acting up very crazy. You might want to add that to your portfolio to diversify outside of the system and perhaps disintermediate yourself from everything that Janine just pulled in her cards have already crumbled in the past. We're just not told yet about, right? So you have decisions to make or not. Up to you guys moving forward. Janine, we had a candle also. No, not a candle. Pyramid from Carla at Ascension Organites. This one here.
Ooh.
You have a question for this one?
It's delicious looking.
Yeah. Do you want me to ask the question?
Yeah, you better ask the question.
What was suggested was being created by 3i Atlas and the dark spot at the beginning of the show? What was the word, one word that might be being created by them here? While I do that, and I wait for that to populate also, I have a specific video, I think, from Carla. She made a little bit of announcement. Is this the same one? Maybe it's the same one, because I think her site is still 30% off for everything for holiday seasons. Let me bring up this video. Can you hear that, Janine? Did you hear that?
A little bit, not very loud.
No, okay. Let me try to find that. For some reason, it's not on my slide deck. Window, this one here. You should get. Does this work? There you go. That's Carla. Okay, so let's try that again.
Carla from Ascension Organized. I hope you're doing great. I wanted to hop on here really quickly to let you know that we are having the Magical Christmas sale over at ascensionorganized.com, where the entire website is 30% off. No coupon needed. Just add your favorite item to the cart, and it would automatically be applied at checkout. This is valid until December 25th. And I also wanted to come on here to thank you so much for your support. Wish you a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Now back to the show. Hi, everyone.
How do you say in Spanish? Feliz Navidad. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate that. And thank you, everyone. And yes, so please go check out ascensionorganized.com, 30% off everything right now. And let me now go back to the mainstream so we can pick a winner on this channel. Yeah, on this one here. Janine, let me know when to stop the feed. And, oh, hold on. Let me get to the bottom first. For some reason, I wasn't at the bottom. There you go. Okay. Is that working? Yeah. Okay. Let me know when to stop the feed, Janine.
Stop.
10-7 United. Portal. Yeah. Congratulations. That's it. darkmystic.net / just go to the tech support form. Let us know you're the winner. Then we'll have that pyramid send out to you guys. Janine, you want to give something away to the Insider Access Pass too? Why not while we're there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me open up the Discord chat. You guys better be listening. If you're here on Rumble, Twitter, or YouTube, log into your Discord chat. Of course, IAP members have privileges. Let me go back and log in there. Do you have another question in mind, Janine, for the Discord chat?
Yeah. So I got a really good truther friend in Ireland, a fellow that I was also with on the truther tour the few days I was there in the US on that truther tour in 22. So 2022. Who is that person? And give us the first and last name.
So not the gentleman that came to the conference, our conference in Ottawa. You're talking about a different one.
He's a truther.
Okay.
And he lives in Ireland. And he's
Okay.
been on this show together with JEAN-CLAUDE and I.
Okay. I'm on the same page. So JANINE is the first one with the correct answer in the Insider Access Pass.
Okay.
Of course, it's Mark Atwood.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do a part 2 to that show the other day. We missed, I don't know, something happened on that Monday, and you and I missed the show.
Yeah.
So we'll have Mark back on. So JANINE, thank you so much. She is a Insider Access Pass member of ours here at Beyond Mystic. Speaking of which, if you go to beyondmystic.net, top of the page, if you're interested in these shows, Janine and I do many of these shows here every week, and you can find them either on pay-per-view, episode per episode, or you can choose to support us by getting the whole pass and get access to everything. The difference between that is, of course, you can watch us live and ask questions during our live shows through the Discord chat. And again, helps us continue to create all of this amazing content for you guys. So please do go and check that out. Janine, let's do a quick what universe wants us to know, maybe heading into the holiday season before we go. One last poll. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, you mentioned something the other day too, Janine. People are emailing Sarah, our tech support queue, to ask you questions on the show. And so please stop doing that. For some reason, there's a big surge of that in the last 2-3 weeks, and it's inundating the tech support queue. So Sarah has to go through all those emails to get to the people who are having trouble with their logins or their memberships and all that. So please don't do that. If you're a Discord member, you can use Discord during our live shows to ask questions, of course. And you can also ask questions to Janine in her Tarot by Janine community. That's what it's there for. And she reads all of those.
Yeah.
So please put the questions there, but don't put that into the tech support queue. It's really slowing down Sarah's ability to get to people who actually need help getting access to their products and services. Okay. Janine, advice for universe.
Okay, so this is I love this card because it's like there's a curiosity to this. The archetype of the page. So it's saying be like this, right? Be like this. So be curious, be excited about the future, like going into the future. There's so much change and it can feel really hard. We're going to have a lot of people in difficult places, like, because just think about it. A lot of the people we've been having like Christmas dinners with for the last 5 or 6 years, like our family members, for some of those years, we weren't even invited, some of us, to these gatherings. Certainly myself, I was excluded from family gatherings for about 3 years, 2.5 anyway. And then finally, like they took away those boundaries and it's been getting slowly better. But a lot of these people are really shook up with what they now know in their heart to be true. They're not necessarily openly at talking about it, but they're in rough shape here. And just in general, with all the crazy theater, if you think we're sick of the theater, people that have no idea and have no way to figure out what's going on must be like, what, right? On some level, it's got to be stressful. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of stressed out family members and friends who aren't maybe watching videos like this, so they don't know what's going on. They have no clue, and they're all in, probably some guilt mixed in there. I'm seeing that from some of my family members who didn't invite me and made sure I didn't come to parties and stuff like that. Now they're feeling remorse and guilt and all of the shenanigans that happened in the last 5 or 6 years, right? So all of that happened, a lot of disruption. Now we're going into a season and we're going to be in social events probably already happening, and gatherings, and certainly, that's if you're in a community where, you get together at this time of year, this card's more sociable. So it's a more sociable time right up until after New Year's Day, right? That's just what it's like for North Americans, but I know Europeans as well. Okay, and lots of places in the world, that's what's happening. And it's going to be hard. So we need to go in there not anticipating an argument, but even bringing some light and love to the equation, maybe having a little bit of a sense of humor, maybe like easing the tension a little bit. Like, so not being all like gloom and doom, and don't bring a black pill into the situation. They've already got remorse. They're feeling funny. That secretly they know they shouldn't have got 3 jabs by now if they did, stuff like that. Okay. So here there's a lot of people going to be feeling disappointed. Okay. And we're going to have to bring, so all of what we have to bring here feels like it's the up energy. We have to be the light in the room if we can. So if you have that, you have the wherewithal to do that. If you're going to go to one of these gatherings, you might want to bring some love and light and a little like even humor. Like I'm pretty good at that. Like I might say a few sarcastic things, but I try to be lighthearted or humorous about it. Right. So a little bit of humor when when the conversation turns to these serious things that are happening right now in the world. Bring a little lightness, bring a little optimism. Yeah.
That's all very good advice. Claire Ellen says, great Thursday night show, Beyond the News. Thank you, Claire. Appreciate that. Stellar Galactic is asking, will there be a Wacky Woo show this Sunday? Actually, I'm trying to schedule one. So yes, maybe, probably, but it's not yet confirmed. So please check out beyondmystic.net. Go to the schedule page to stay abreast here of all the notifications for the new shows. I'm hoping to have this one put up this Sunday. At the very least, I think I'll do one next week here just before or during the holiday seasons. I want to do at least a few shows. And again, guys, take note of the holiday break here. Most of the Beyond Mystic team will be taking some time off here with their family. And we should be back in full force on January 5th here, 2020. But again, if things go absolutely crazy, as always, Janine and I will come on and do some of these impromptu shows for you guys. So people asking in the chat, yes, in the description box below, you'll see the links to Floridine Farm. If you're looking at getting these salt baths or anything else on her page, check it out there. The Beyond Mystic coupon code there is BM10 to give you 10% off. And I think there's still some holiday specials, promos also going on there on the website. Of course, you can find Carla 30% off across the site here at ascensionorganize.com. IP, of course, is on sale, ho 50 for another couple of days, and all the courses on the Academy with holidays 2025 being the coupon code there if you take a course or want to gift a course to one of your friends and families here during the holiday season. And finally, again, go check out Janine at terabytejanine.com. I love you guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
Au revoir.